Hello, everybody. Welcome back to baseball here on youtube.com/SeanSourceRex. I'm Sean, and today we have baseball as we do 5 days a week here on the channel. Today we have 3 hand-picked games and 1 wheel spin game. There were only 7 games to pick from, so there wasn't like a lot that I could do with it. We're going to check out the Blue Jays and the Tigers. That was our wheel spin game, and then we have some games between teams with good records. The Pirates are taking on the Braves. The Rockies are playing the Phillies, and the Royals are playing the Athletics. So let's jump in with... forgetting that I put that up there. There we go. MLB 11, the show. We'll jump in with what I believe is the first game of the day. The Blue Jays taking on the Tigers. Blue Jays kind of out of it at this point. The Tigers are out of it as well, but in a less, like, confounding way, I suppose. They've been out of it for what feels like a very long time. The Blue Jays were in second place in the AL East and just couldn't ever really do anything, and they've been really playing poorly as of late. Yeah. And then, the Royals. It's the Royals in Cleveland and the Kansas City and Cleveland in the Central, Mariners and Athletics in the West that have made it difficult for both of these teams. Toronto is 3 games under 500, and Detroit is 4 games under 500. And welcome to Comerica Park. Everything, I guess, is late. I thought I picked the wrong thumbnail, but no, we're at night here in Detroit. Johnny Damon, the left fielder, will bat first. Andre Ethier in right, followed by Miguel Cabrera over at first. Matt Stairs is the DH. Mike Aviles at second. Derek Jeter, the shortstop. Juan Uribe at third base. Rod Barajas is the catcher. Lorenzo Cain is in center field. Welcome on into baseball here on the channel. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Happy Friday. You made it, everybody. I have not played that game. Darren Oliver is 2-2 with a 5.14 ERA. 5 games with 14 innings. 17, 6, and 12. So not a whole lot of starts. Maybe a call-up. I'm not really sure how it would work on the back end. It is just a season mode, but it would be, I guess, kind of odd if it still played with the, like... I guess it could have been an injury. Okay. Could have been an injury. Johnny Damon, he's batting .273, a couple of home runs, 6 RBI, 7 stolen bases. Just wonder how many runs he scored. Maybe that's the helpful stat for the batters. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is fouled away. We are underway in Detroit. Game 1 of 4 for you this evening. Going into, for me, a long weekend. We have President's Day off. Pitches in for a strike. Wind got taxes done today, so that is a positive. Maybe TMI. Doesn't matter. You're getting to learn. Don't add fuel to the Sonics expansion fire, okay? That pitch is high and outside for a ball. One and two. It's a good take. That pitch, just a little too much ride through the zone. And missed. That is low for a ball. Makes it 2-2. Another good eye from Johnny Damon. Here's the righty, or the lefty, excuse me, to the plate and fouled away. I didn't even take into account that David Ortiz wasn't in the lineup. That's always like kind of the thing about the name brand recognition here in Toronto, and the record just doesn't reflect some of the names where you go like, oh, okay, David Ortiz, Derek Jeter, Johnny Damon, like, whoa, those are some names. And then they're 3 games under 500, and their offense is usually pretty garbage. And then, of course, every time I say that, their offense actually goes like, hey, we can hit the ball. I was like, well, why don't you do that all the time? We don't want to. All right. Fly out to center field for out number 1. And the lefty is in for a strike. Interestingly enough, they're starting with 2 lefty hitters. Toronto's one of the more recognizable we change our lineup for lefty starters lineups. But they left a couple lefties in the 1-2 spots today. That one's sliced foul. And that is a foul ball. 0-2. The wind and the pitch. Low for a ball. One and two. The wind and the pitch from the lefty is hit. Third base side. That's going to stay fair into left field. It'll just be a single. So I insult the Toronto Blue Jays and their inability to swing. Here they are. 4 weeks until early access to MLB 26. Hell yeah. Head of research, David. Let's go. Very exciting. Thought about just pre-ordering it today. It's like, look, I'm going to do it anyway. There's no reason to buy it now. There's no reason to, like, wait. It's the weirdest. It's such a weird spot to be in. I don't have to buy it until I need to use it for stream. What's the hype level in chat for MLB The Show 26? Strike at the knees? I am at... I'll give it a solid 8. I'm an 8 out of 10 excited. I'm just excited for a new season of MLB The Show. Like, I enjoy doing that every day for 162 games. It's fun to have, like, a rhythm and a routine. I'm excited for the baseball season just kind of in general. So I'm at an 8 out of 10, but I haven't caught up on everything, so I could go maybe like a little higher or a little lower depending on all of the, what's it called? All the feature premieres and all that sort of stuff. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is low for a ball. Try to start out near the knees where he did with the previous batter. Boy, even though they changed this lineup without David Ortiz, 3 of the first 4 at-bats are lefty. What a bizarre... Toronto is just the most head-scratching team that we have here. It was Cleveland for a while, just based on the ranks versus the record. But that's come down a little bit. Swung on and missed to the pitch on the outside. Let me clear. Clear all those notifications, just in case. Do. 2-2 with 2 outs. A runner on first here in the top of the first. That is lifted. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. I was going to say lobbied, but that's not correct. Lobbed, I guess. Not strong contact. Out in foul territory. Let's introduce you to the Detroit lineup right now. Okay, a little off. Rafael Furcal is the shortstop. He'll be leading off the switch hitter. This Tigers lineup is really tricky. You have 5 lefties, 2 righties, 2 switch hitters. And 1 through 5 are all going to bat from the left-hand side. Ike Davis is at first, Joe Mauer behind the dish, Pedro Alvarez at third, Raul Ibanez in left. That injured lefty lane. Adam Jones, the center fielder. Hey, there's one righty. Oh, wait, just kidding. We're back to a lefty in Will Venable. He's in right field. Adam Jones in center, by the way. And then Orlando Hudson, switch hitting second baseman. And then Matt Diaz, the righty, will bat in the DH spot. Here's your starter, John Garland, 6-4 with a 5.12 ERA, 13 games, 31.2 innings pitched, 45, 26 hits, walks, strikeouts. Got it wrong, corrected it, still won. 45, 13, 26. You like a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. I think that's all right. A lot of hits, though. Rafael Furcal. We got to see this Detroit team face a lefty pitcher. I don't know that we've done that yet. I bet we have, and I just don't remember. It's a 1-pitch, 1-swing, and a single. As they are leading off here with a base hit. Like, how different does that lineup look? Detroit's a team that we haven't watched a ton. They get the wheel spin games, sure. But at the same time, it's not like I go out of my way to watch them because they have not had a great record throughout most of the season. Ike Davis is batting .267. Two-hole hitter up with a runner on first, nobody out. That is outside for a ball. Here comes the 1-0. That just misses outside. 2-0. How aggressive does Davis want to be here? 2-0. Ooh, that missed the low. Okay. Thought he might have got the knees, but isn't earning the strikes because he can't find the zone in a consistent manner, and he can't find the zone at all here in this at-bat. 3-0. Here's the wind and the pitch, and it is crushed out towards center field. Does the ballpark hold it? Oh, wow, it does. Halfway in the... What? A couple of steps away from the wall. Makes the grab. Hold on. The Sky Zone had to load in there. Or Sky Box. Joe Mauer, batting .366. That's a good looking average. Not a ton of home runs and doesn't have as large a number of RBI as you might want, but he's still getting on base at a solid clip. Ooh, they're going to put the runner in motion down to second. He is so out. He actually kind of was safe except for the fact that the sliding animations slow them down so much. Jeter does a nice job covering second, and there's two gone. Does that cost Detroit a run? Not sure what the count is because the score bug didn't pop back up. Might have to pause and unpause. It's at least a 1-0 count. Okay, it's a 1-1 count with two gone. The wind and the pitch from the righty. Low and inside for a ball. I mean, I guess that you're at the stage of the season where you're out of the playoff race, more than likely, out of the playoff race. Why not pad those stats? Why not just say, hey, we're gonna run. We're gonna pick up some stolen bases. Mauer slices that foul. Foul. That's low for a ball. Full count to Mauer. Here comes the payoff pitch. The righty winds and fires. That is hit up the third base line. Oh, it would have been interesting to see. They probably just would have advanced him to third. Runners on the corners with one out. A little different than a runner on first with two out. Second time we've seen a ball sliced up that left field line. Pedro Alvarez. Oh, there's the number RBI you're looking for. 22. That is a good looking number. Only 4 home runs too, so you know he's doing it in the yard. That's nice. I don't love that sentence. One pitch, one swing, and this is absolutely mashed to the gap. Oh, that would have scored a run. Mauer is going to get around the bases anyway, but it's... You know what? We'll take it for what it is. Safe at home, and that's why he has 23 now RBI. Absolutely crushed that. That's the perfect part of the park here in Detroit if you're looking to get a runner home from first with 2 gone. Some architect decided, like, you know what? Right here, let's just push it back. Just for fun. Oh, and here's what we'll also do. We'll just raise it. That's a bit of a surprising strike call on the outside 0-1. 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. If you're just joining, welcome in. Detroit just scored with a 2-out double. Now Raul Ibanez. Bit of a forced swing because of the umpire's funky call on the previous pitch makes it 0-2. Here's the line down the pitch and swung on and missed. Went a little east to west there through 2 outside and then busted him inside. And we are heading to the top of the second. 3 hits, 1 run for Detroit. Should have been 2, but a steal got caught between first and second. Aviles, Jeter, and Uribe coming up. Mike Aviles. The righty. Oh, he puts a swing on that first pitch and out to left field it goes. A single to lead things off for the Toronto Blue Jays here in what is a strike back inning. We saw a lot of away teams in Thursday's action, or Wednesday's action, excuse me, get just monster hits, or monster run totals. Until Tampa Bay ruined it and Seattle drove me up a wall. Jeter pulls that one just foul. 0-1. Long strike. Probably just puts the runner at third. Lefty. Oh, gets the call on the outside. 0-2 on Derek Jeter. Lefty. Winds, fires, and steps towards the bag. It's rolled over. Second baseman picks it up, tags him, and throws. Hey, that may be the smartest play we have seen all season in this game that is fundamentally broken. He just stood there, let him run into it, and then we've seen people accidentally tag the runner. But we have not seen someone actually do that intentionally. Wow, good job, Detroit Tigers defense. Clears the bases and holds that 1-0 lead. That second half of the sentence, not really helpful, important. Just kind of nothing. Sometimes, you know, sometimes sometimes you assemble a little bit of word salad and you go, I hope they don't notice. Oh, God. Two and 2 gone in the top of the second. The lefty readies and fires that. Nice roll over to first base. The throw to the pitcher covering is in time for the out. ST games start next week. Oh yeah, spring training. Oh, I'll be doing a stream next Friday. I'll grab we'll grab the most recent rosters for the MLB and MLB The Show 25. And then we'll probably play the Padres. And then I'll do a watch-along of the first spring training game. That'll probably start around 10:30? The game's at 12:40, so I guess we could start at 11. That's actually, 11's probably fine. We'll go 11 a.m. next Friday. We'll play some show, and then we'll, that is low for a ball. Ooh, I could go get some more. I have some tops. I went and bought a hobby box of tops. 20 packs. Middle of the first, bottom. I could go buy another hobby box. We could rip a pack in between innings. Something like that. Or we just hang out. Because if I get, let's see. That's a good, here, I'll write this down. I'll write this down and I'll think about it quietly instead of talking to you. That is hit into left field. Nice leap to try and get it. Let's go tab. Spring, Trainin. Stream for 220. That is what? Was that not hit off the ground? Hold on, hold on, hold on. That's on me. That's on me. We are going to watch the replay here. For whatever reason, there are times where it just seems like it's hit on the ground. But no, that was up in the air. The first baseman, this is the weird thing about the CPU, is that they know what's going to happen. But a nice leaping grab. Okay. They went back to first. Spring training. So then we go like a pack. Rip. Between innings? Question mark? Just a thought. Trying to come up with different stuff. I don't know. That's upstairs. High and inside for a ball. Two and up. I did actually pull kind of a cool... I have this table next to me. That is lifted into left field. But I pulled a Byron Buxton to 25 orange Diamante out of a hanger box. That was a fun pull to get. That box had a couple nice Diamantes. It had an orange and a pink, in addition to the two that they give you standardly. Throw down to second, not in time, safe. Nice job to get into scoring position for the Tigers. I got to sign up for Mariners TV. I think all the spring training games are free, so it's like, obviously I can't broadcast it, but you would very easily and freely be able to watch along. Watch along for free is a better way to phrase that. The 0-1 is inside for a ball. 1-1. Two gone here for the Tigers, looking for a little insurance. Nice block by the catcher for Toronto. Gets down there and makes the play. Here comes the 2-1. It is low and outside for a ball. There was a nice little stretch where the Mariners were streaming the spring training games just on YouTube. That's pretty cool. Here's the wind and the pitch, and that is lifted into right field. He is going on the hit because it doesn't matter with two outs. Oh, the right fielder felt like he had the arm to get it in all the way to the catcher, but the cutoff to the pitcher made sure that that was a run instead of a potential play at the plate. So Detroit now leading 2-0. Runner stayed at first. There was nowhere to go, nowhere for him to go. And that is an out. So, a little more two-out damage for the Detroit Tigers, who have scored one run in each of the two innings. The 8-9-1 hitter's coming up. Barajas, that's the word I got real thrown by that. Barajas is going to lead things off. That's a name I need the first name for. It's the same for Rocco Baldelli. His name just doesn't make sense without the Rocco in front of it to me. Rocco Baldelli's Modern Life. Oh, that's an awful reference. I thought about it. I was like, you don't have to say it. And then my mouth went, good job, Sean. We're so proud of you. We're only 90 days into this, so we're absolutely falling apart here. Pitch in for the strike at the high outside corner. Unfortunately for me yesterday, I forgot to correctly put the March Madness game up. Or the NCAA basketball, whatever. Forgot to put that up correctly, so I'm trying to do it at the comedy show, the open mic. And that's like the time when someone was like, I'd like to really intently talk to you and your table right now. And I'm like, buddy, I am trying to put YouTube tags in here. Like, I am focused. Right fielder coming in to try to make a play. Hey, has the time and the room for it. That is one gone here for the Blue Jays, excuse me. Yeah, I love the MLB The Show crowd because you can see that it's just like 6 character models that they've just tried to mix in. So there's 18 people that go like, oh, no, all at the exact same time. Here's the wind and the pitch, and that is foul, third base side. Oh and 1. One gone here as the lefty winds and fires. That is rolled just foul. That's a big break for the Blue Jays. At least make sure that they only have one out. That's going to be most likely a very easy out at first base. Foul again, same side. Count remains 0-2, 3 foul balls. Does a good job to just stay alive in that situation. That is fouled away. Oh and 2. Inside for a ball. One, 2 count. The lefty readies, winds, and the pitch is fouled away again. Hey, this is a good at-bat. You're a bloop and a blast away from tying it. Like, it's not an impossible amount to get to. That makes it a little harder. That's out to center field, and there's 2 gone for the Blue Jays here in the top of the third. It'll all come down to, as we look at Adam Jones out there in center field, Johnny Damon. He's 0 for 1. A shockingly low RBI number at just 6, especially when you see that he has 7 stolen bases. But then you take into account that he's the leadoff hitter. I guess it makes sense. Then we saw that Tigers player after Joe Mauer. Like, that's why that batting average looks great, because his RBIs look great. And what did he do? The guy with 22 RBIs drove in the dude who had a good average. Lefty-lefty matchup to potentially wrap us up. Damon's ahead 2-0. As the wind and the pitch comes in, it's rolled foul on over the first base side. Two and 1. That's outside. 3-1. Damon readies. That is foul. So we will see a payoff pitch coming up from the lefty. Toronto down to their final strike. The lefty sets. Gets ready to wind. Here's the pitch. It is. Oh, my goodness. It's on that low outside corner that can sometimes be a little generous. That pitch looked good from our angle. And that will do it. Damon with a take right there at the end. I mean, I don't even think it was really that low, and I don't think it was that wedged in the corner. But the Blue Jays fall in this one 2-0. Darren Oliver, your player of the game. 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 strikeout on the day for him. Let his defense behind him make some plays. Improves to 3-2. John Garland falls to 6-5. No home runs, no saves in this one. 2-0 your final here from Detroit. Pedro Alvarez was 1 for 1 with a double. And he knocked in a run. And that's he has a ton of RBI. And then Joe Mauer bats right in front of him, so. Really helps the old RBI number. That was the first game of the day, and we're going right to the second game of the day. It's the Pirates taking on the Braves. I mean, you can see why. 40 wins for the Pirates, 39 wins for the Braves. There's a look at your wild card standings. The Braves in the NL East, they have overcome the Marlins, who started out so strong and have just fallen apart. And they'd be tracking down the Phillies. Phillies, hey, guess what? They're coming up next. So get excited about that. While the game's loading, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Free, easy way to help the channel. We'll take a quick peek here forward, ahead. Forward, ahead, ahead, forward. Good job. Pittsburgh is 40-29. Atlanta is 39-30. The Atlanta Braves do have some work to do. The Philadelphia Phillies have 42 wins on the season. So Atlanta needs to pick up a win here. They need some help from Colorado in the next game. Nick Markakis is going to lead things off from right field in the hitter's box. The left-handed right fielder. Ivan Rodriguez at first base. Robinson Cano at second. Jose Bautista at third. Seth Smith at fourth. DHing. Alfonso Soriano in left. Miguel Olivo behind the fourth base home plate at the catching position. Crispy Young, Crispy Quick in center field. And Ryan Theriot is the shortstop. Aaron Cook, 1-7 with a 5.45 ERA, 13 games, 36.1 innings pitched, 43-17-18? Is that what we're looking at here? Was I right? 47-17-18? Ooh, is it? Oh, we did it. 43-17-18. I think I had it right the first time, but I definitely goofed it up the second time. All right. Can you please... Thank you. Nick Markakis getting things let off for us as the Braves are wearing their red top. And I did double check to make sure we didn't see that pitcher that takes forever. Unfortunately, we get Aaron Cook, who has a horrible record. They do have a little bit of wiggle room in the wild card race, but a win over a good Pittsburgh team would be helpful for two reasons. Why did he not make the catch? It'd be helpful for standings, and it'd be helpful for just, the heart. This game. I talked in the last game about the smart play that the defense made, and then this game rewards me immediately with that. What are we doing? So Rodriguez steps up. Oh, by the way, I almost restarted my PS2 while I was accessing the memory card. Because I was like, oh, shoot, I have the wrong game in here. Rodriguez doesn't like the strike call. It's correct. I was like, oh, shoot, NCAA March Madness 2005 is still in the thing. Let me hit the reset button. And then I looked at the screen and was like, please don't press the power or reset button. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is in for a strike. Here comes the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Rodriguez swung at a pitch that was well off the plate. And that is... Oh, man. That is brutal. That's tough to look at. Sometimes as a commentator you chuckle and then you just hope that the audience that's watching you doesn't, maybe bring that up when you do it inevitably during the season. Just a thought. Maybe just... Keep that in mind. Let's see. 1-on-1 out here, top first. Cano steps up to the plate and takes a ball upstairs. One and oh. The wind and the pitch is hit. Oh my goodness, the first baseman missed it. That's two defensive situations for Atlanta. The first one's a little more egregious than the second one. We see the second one all the time. That first one, though, he just kind of let it go. Bautista, he could get his 30th RBI of the season here. Runners on the corners with one away. Pittsburgh played a really fun series against, oh my God. Goodbye baseball. It is 3-0 Pittsburgh. They played a really fun series against the Rockies. We watched all of those games, I believe. And it was a very good time. Especially that last one. Because Oh, man. If you wanted to watch runs get scored, watch that game. Aaron Cook kind of showing why he has that 1-7 record. Batista took a absolute meatball 400 feet the other way, 395 the other way. That's pretty close. Oh, I'm off by 5 feet, no problem. Seth Smith is batting 388. So it doesn't get much easier for this starter for Atlanta. 3-0 with just one out here in the top of the first. This one could be over early, folks. But we appreciate you sticking around anyway, you know? We appreciate you just like hanging out, watching the stream. As we work our way through the last little bits here of the regular season, we're on June 21st. Season ends July 4th. And we'll have playoff baseball for you. The wind and the pitch, that is lifted out towards right field. Right fielder makes the catch. And a nice bounce back after the 3-run blast to pick up out number 2. So both Atlanta and Boston have like primary red jerseys where it's just the logo. Boston just has the red socks, red stockings. Oh, God. I felt like I spit everywhere. I did. Ugh. Gross. Nobody touched my keyboard. Oh, and 1 to Alfonso Soriano, the righty. Winds and fires. Ooh, he's going to roll that one over to the shortstop. So a good job. Hey, the pitcher recovered pretty nicely. Left a meatball for Jose Batista to get to. You don't love that, but hey, it is what it is. He got those next 2 outs pretty effectively. 3-0 Pittsburgh. Gives his team a chance to try and climb back into this one. Because we've seen some teams, and we've seen Pittsburgh score a lot of runs. They scored 6 in Minnesota. Danny Worth is the shortstop. He'll be batting leadoff for the Atlanta Braves, followed by Gabby Sanchez at first, Josh Hamilton in left, Andrew Jones in center field, Jeff Francoeur in right, Howie Kendrick at second, Ross Glode is the DH, Mark Teahan at third base, and AJ Pierzynski is the catcher. Here is the starter for the Pittsburgh Pirates. It is Dallas Braden. The lefty is 7-6 with a 5.40 ERA. 13 games, 35 innings pitched, 42, 8, and 15. So a lot of hits, and then like almost a third the strikeouts. Only 8 walks. So I guess expect a lot of contact out of him. Just kind of looking at those numbers, and maybe a pitcher you can get. Maybe a pitcher you can get back into the game against this pitcher is where I'm trying to drive that sentence somewhere. They will take a strike. Looked like it was pretty middle of the plate, but it was fairly low. So a strike of the knees makes it 0-1. The lefty winds and fires. That is a strike. Might have something to do with our camera angle. That looked like it was outside for a ball, but they call it a strike. 0-2. The wind and the pitch is low. 1-2. Braden's ready, winds, fires, that's rolled over. Third baseman comes in, scoops, fires off balance over the head of the first baseman, and he is going to head to second with where that landed. He might even know. I was going to wonder if he was going to take third, but didn't get that deep. So Batista, he has the 3-run home run to put the Pirates up 3, and then immediately makes an error in the bottom of the first. Wow. So it could have been a fairly routine play. He was off balance, trying to make a play. You could kind of see as it was developing, you went, ooh, I don't know that anyone's going to get that. That is lifted. Nice diving catch. Runner with a chance to get to third. He's a little slower. It's a double play. Oh my goodness. An absolute disaster for the Braves. It's a fantastic diving catch. It's Soriano out there in left. And not a very fast leadoff batter. That was an ill-advised decision. You got gifted 2 bases on an error. That'll be Josh Hamilton, the lefty. Wow. That was an exciting double play. 2 gone here. And that is in for a strike. 32 days to go for MLB The Show 26. Or 4 weeks, 28 days for us Deluxe Edition sickos. 1-0. Lefty winds and fires. That one stays high for a ball. 2-0. Here comes the 2-0. That is in for a strike. Gets that outside edge to make it 2-1. That 2-1 is lifted over to third base. Batista made an error in the inning. It ended up not biting him thanks to Alfonso Soriano's excellent throw in from left field. Olivo, Young, and Terrio coming up. It's 3-0 Pittsburgh. Atlanta looked like they were going to threaten, maybe make this game fun. Instead, oof, it got ugly quick. Miguel Olivo, go Mariners. Do I have time to buy a jersey before the season starts? Top of the second. Actually, they're doing this is not an ad, but it's going to sound like it. They're doing a President's Day sale this weekend. And I did look at a jersey. I was like, oh, I could. 1-0. The righty is ready. Winds and fires. That is hit into right field. That's the second time. The shortstop just didn't make the play. The second baseman turned away from it. Boy. I'm okay if the Braves don't make the playoffs because that means we won't have to watch Karuta. It's less of a problem because in the playoffs, there's not a lot of days, if any, that have 4 games on a single day. So that's helpful. Righty winds and fires. That is lifted. Crispy Young, crispy quick. Crispy crushing it into foul territory. 0-1. Nobody gone here with a runner on first. Pittsburgh looking to add on. It's a good take. Probably just a ground ball. Though with this Braves defense and the 2 plays that they already haven't made, I don't know if I would trust them or believe in them to make a double play. 0-2. Here's the wind and the pitch, and it is lifted into left field. That'll get down for a single. Lead runner advances just a second. Ryan Terrio steps in. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is fouled back to the backstop. 0-1. Here comes the 0-1. Fouled off. Foul ball. Sorry, I called it too early. That's on me. Foul ball. That is going to get into center field. Do they send him around to home? They do. It's a pretty good throw. I mean, it would have been a close play at the plate. It was up the line. But I do like the aggression there, trying to get the batter out at home. You don't really want to be down much more than 3, I'm sure. But now you're down 4. Runners on first and second. Still nobody out. Oh, boy. I'm a little surprised he took that pitch. I wonder if it was a bit of an auto take mode, but that looked like it was so unbelievably hittable. Here's the 0-1. That's fouled away. Here comes the 0-2, foul away. Remains 0-2. Foul ball. Oh, boy. Might have gotten a very generous call on the outside. We don't get the track, which is something I actually wish, like, if you could go in and just tinker with the settings and give us more of those swing track, pitch track, info spots. That'd be great. It would be very helpful right there. The wind of the pitch is low for a ball. 1-0. I don't know. I guess I could have taken a look at the replay. It's long gone now, but that side of the plate is that side of the plate is the side of the plate that is the most inconsistent and frustratingly called. One and one. That misses for a ball. 2-1. That is hit into left field. Do they send the lead runner? They will not. They'll work station to station. Robinson Cano 1 for 1, a single and a run. He's batting .421 on the season. Bases are loaded. The wind and the pitch from the righty, Cano with a nice take. That pitch just missed inside for a ball. 1-0. That is, that's a generous strike call. Maybe it looks a little more generous than it probably was, just due to our angle. It looked a little more outside, but must have caught the corner enough for the umpire to give it the strike. 1-1. That is low for a ball. The righty readies, winds and fires, and that is going to be into left field. Going to get all the way to the wall. The question's going to be, does it clear the bases? No. It's a 2 RBI double. 6-0 Pirates. As they are collaborating. Maybe like making Atlanta look like they have a fraudulent record. They kind of do. Maybe the record isn't fraudulent, but the position of their team is fraudulent, because the Marlins just fell off a cliff. Chris Ray, 21 games with a 4.3 record, 2 saves, a 4.81 ERA, 24.1 innings pitched, 11 walks, 17 strikeouts. And he will try to get out of this with as little extra damage as possible. Starter still on the hook for the runners on second and third. And he's going to have to get all of the outs. No, there's one out, my bad. The righty winds and fires. That's fouled away. That's kind of what Atlanta's looking for, is a swinging bunt that holds both runners and an easy out at first. The wind and the pitch. Inside for a ball. Two and one. The righty sets and fires. That is foul up the first base line. Oh my goodness. Batista, who had a 3-run home run in the first inning, takes a look at a strike. I mean, it's right at the knees. That's why I think you should be throwing more pitches to the batters who are in kind of an auto swing mode, because he wanted to take it thinking it was going to be another ball. Get aggressive on these 2-strike counts. See if you can get the take, because what they swing at and what they don't swing at can be very weird sometimes. That's in for a strike. The wind and the pitch. Foul away. And that is rolled foul. Hit so powerfully that it dropped frames in the game. This game held together by duct tape in a dream. Swung on and missed. So, does a nice job. Picks up a couple of outs without giving up any more runs. You think that maybe Atlanta would have wanted to make that pitching change sooner. We'll go back to the example that I typically use. Colorado gave up 4 runs to the Cubs in the first inning. Scored nothing in the bottom of the first. When they went to the top of the second, the starter was still in, but they gave him a chance. That Rockies pitcher then gave up 2 hits, and they said, "You're done. We're pulling you." And then the reliever was able to not give up any more damage, and Colorado was able to storm back and pick up a win, 5-4. Great game. You just kind of wonder if the Braves had maybe made that decision a little bit sooner. Because not only did they give up 2 more runs, they put the reliever in a bad position. 2 runners in scoring position. At least when the Rockies pulled them, it was a runner on first and second, double play still in order. And it wasn't like they were going to drive a sac fly to right field. See if this Braves offense can get anything going. The bottom half of the second. It's a 3-0 count, so a good start for them. As the lefty winds and fires. That's a automatic. And a good job by, I believe it's Jones up there, making sure that he doesn't go for it and get a bad out. Here's the 3-1, which is the pitch that they typically go for and get bad outs on. It is a strike at the knees. Good take. Best case scenario, it's a walk. Worst case scenario, it's strike 2. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is foul, third base side. Payoff pitch. That is a nice hit into center field. There you go, Atlanta. They're off to a good start. I mean, technically they got off to a good start in the bottom of the first inning as well, because they had the error that put the runner on second. The problem was that they tried to advance the runner from second to third on a ball that went into left field. Not that deep. Granted, diving catch. I get it. Soriano maybe more credit for a good play rather than Atlanta's blame for a bad play. But there's just no reason to be that aggressive in that situation. Still a runner in scoring position. You're only working with one out. It'd be interesting to see if they try for the steal here to force some action on the base paths. Here comes the pitch from the lefty. It is swung on and missed. Oh and 2. Lefty sets, winds and fires, swung on and missed. Now, one of these teams, I believe it's Atlanta, does have a little lefty lane at the bottom of the lineup, which will be interesting against a lefty pitcher. 91 mile an hour, 4-seam fastball. It says a break of 0 inches. Nice arc there. Howie Kendrick batting .302. 3 home runs, 15 RBI. Has 1 stolen base. That is fouled away. I was waiting for the claps. I was excited. That pitch misses low for a ball. Here comes the 1-1. It is low for a ball. 2-1. Lefty misses low. 3-0. 3-1. 3-0. What? I literally forgot the number I just said. 3-1. Goodness gracious. 1 away. Bottom of the second. Pittsburgh up 6-0. The wind and the pitch. That one stays high. Good, patient at bat. Those batters love swinging at a 3-1 count. Ross Glode, he's just happy to be here. Playing for the Braves. I believe he's the 7 hitter, so I think 7, 8, 9 are all lefties. Which makes it an interesting situation for this Braves offense. Felt like that the way to get back into the game was in that bottom of the first when you had the runner on second and a lot of righties coming up. Now you need some lefties to come through with a couple runners on. Big swing and a miss from Glode, who's now down 0-2. Lefty winds and fires and misses low. One and 2. That is a rolled foul. Here comes the 1-2. That is hit into right field. Right fielder charges. And good smart base running for the Braves as they just let everybody go station to station. And a nice job by the lefty to come up with a base hit. Keep things going. Mark Teahan. What can he do? The Braves? Can the Braves make this interesting? Kind of hope that they do. We don't want a boring 6-0 blowout. That's in the dirt. That's going to get away. Nobody advances. That is not surprising. It's very rare. I think we've only really seen it once of a runner breaking from third to home when the ball gets away from the catcher to that side. But everybody dove back immediately, and that's fouled away again. Or fouled away. 1-1. That first pitch I immediately forgot was in the dirt. And here's the wind and the pitch. It is smashed but foul. Sliced opposite way. Lefty winds and fires. That's rolled first base side. They will take the out at second. Out at second. Safe at first. That was a very slow developing play. The Braves do pick up a run, and the game likes to punish defenses that can't come up with double plays. So even though they are still down 5, this game sometimes does love a little bit of chaos. If it wanted the most chaos, it would miss a throw, a pickoff throw, and the runner would score. They're back safe as they are 99.9% of the time. Not an exaggeration. Here's the wind and the pitch from the lefty. Nice take outside. And the lefty late in this lineup so far, they've done a little bit. Glode got everybody up 90 feet. And the next lefty had just enough speed to outrun the double play while scoring a run. And that's in for a strike. Can they go 3 for 3 lefty v lefty? One count, 2 outs, 2 on, bottom of the second. Oh. Foul ball. 1-2. And it's going to go into left field. That is an out. And, okay, I got thrown off. I was like, I thought it was 2 outs, but it must have been 1 out. Was I wrong? No, it was 2. They just didn't go. Because if he drops it, then you'd get out, whatever. 6-1, Atlanta at least tries to make it interesting, but they can't come through. And Alfonso Soriano will lead things off here in the top of the third. The righty winds and fires. It's swung on and missed. Soriano. The big hack there. Pitch was on the inside. Probably wasn't going to get much of the bat to the ball anyway. 0-1. Nobody out. Righty winds and fires. The pitch inside. Ball 2. Or ball 1, excuse me. 1-1. The other pitch was inside, but Soriano swung at it. Soriano made the nice diving catch in the bottom of the first and then helped double up the runner that was going from second to third, which erased the Batista error that led off the inning. Miguel Olivo had is 1-for-1 with a single and a run. Good start for this Braves defense, and this pitching change has worked. It's just been that it's a pitching change that happened at 6-0 rather than like a 4-0. Olivo put a good swing on it. Good crack of the bat. Drives it foul. 0-1. Righty winds and fires. That one stays upstairs for a ball. Thought it maybe got the letters, but it's a ball. 1-1. That is driven foul. That's, oh boy. Got to leave it a swing on that one and drive it high in the sky. That is out number 2. So nothing really leaving the infield here for Pittsburgh. The wind and the pitch to the next in line. Crispy Young, Crispy Quick. He'll take a ball low and inside. 1-0. Some of these lineups I know kind of okay. Some of them I don't know at all. That is in for a strike. I'm a little surprised he got the knees, but okay. One and one. 2 outs. The wind and the pitch. That is foul up the first base line. Good break for the Braves, who need kind of all the help they can get. As we work our way through the top of the 3rd. 2 gone. And did he go? No. I kind of thought he did. That is the funkier of the swing animations. Because it looks like such a late defensive swing, and it always looks like they break the plane. Especially when you see some of the like, yeah, he went calls. You're like, I wasn't close. Didn't matter. It took 1 extra pitch to get him set down. Pittsburgh down in order for the first time tonight. Worth, Sanchez, and Hamilton as the lineup flips over for the Braves. 6-1 head to the home half of the 3rd. Danny Worth. He'll lead things off here. See what they can do against this lefty second time through. Oh my goodness. That pitch was like in the glove. And then he's like, don't worry, I'm going to swing. It was going to be a ball anyway, but, you know, you didn't have to swing at it. Or a strike. What? No way. No way they just called that a strike. We'll take a look at the replay. That was egregiously bad. We're right here. Here's the pitch. And at what point, I mean, feel free to let us know. At what point that's just a strike ever at all. It's in his batter's box and called a strike. Wow. 0-2. Brutal break for the Braves. Needed that to be a 1-strike count. Weirdly enough, that has been more consistent. And it's right to the shortstop. I mean, did a good job to get a decent piece of contact on the ball, especially after such a bad call. I mean, that's I don't know why it's been so much more frequent lately. Because not only are they not strikes, they're never strikes ever closely to strike land. It's the call at the letters 0-1. And that is into the knees. This umpire has dinner reservations. They gotta go. I don't know about that. Here comes the 0-2, 1 away. That is, oh my goodness. Well, hopefully we can get a pitch track. Nope. Okay. All right. It's Atlanta. Their defense let them down in the top of the 1st. Well, we got to be honest about that. But boy, has this umpire really helped out a team that's up by 5 and doesn't need help. That stays way out of the zone. For a ball. That's outside. The wind and the pitch. Ooh, almost got him. little surprised that he didn't get got, but. Three and oh. Two gone. We're in the bottom of the third. It's got to be hands off controller. It's a strike in the knees, and that makes it 3-1. I don't know about that one. Oh, man. Full counts. I mean, who's ready for the most egregious strike to be called to end the game? I am. I'm ready for it. Oh, instead it's an absolutely launched home run. That's a 400-footer for sure. Because it's 390 out there in the first place. Oh, my goodness. 6-2. He'll show you how to umpire. That misses. Crowd riled up. I mean, you really feel like they missed such a golden opportunity. Swung on and missed. Really feel like there was a golden opportunity to try and really close that gap with the bases loaded. They only come away with one run. That is going to be into center. Okay. All right. Atlanta. They still need two more base runners to make this interesting. But that's a couple of hits back to back now. Jeff Francoeur 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Batting a little under 400 at 395 for the season. The lefty winds, fires, and that is hit and drilled. Foul ball. Oh and 1. A runner on first and 2 outs here in the home half of the third. And I think that is going to do it. Left or center fielder making the run over to make the catch. And that will take care of the Braves. The Braves tried. This is not as lopsided a 6-2 game as you might think. The Braves had the bad play in the first inning. They had a missed opportunity in the second. The third inning wasn't quite as good, but it gets lifted by the solo home run and at least putting another runner on and trying to make it interesting. It's just that Pittsburgh was able to take advantage of the Atlanta Braves' mistakes and get out to a big lead and not really worry about it. Their pitching change worked. Robinson Cano was 2 for 2 with a double and 2 RBI. Dallas Braden wins, and he improves to 8-6. Aaron Cook falls to 1-8 on the season. Batista's 6th home run and Hamilton's 17th of the year. Once they brought in, but oh man, because how much more interesting does that get if they bring him in and it's 4-0? They just do the Rockies thing of, hey, you gave up 4, you're going to go back out there, you give up 2 hits, you're done. How does that change? Do you hit the bases loaded? We'll just have to dream about it because the game is over, and it was a 6-2 Pirates win. We're going down to Rockies Phillies, so the Braves with an opportunity to try and close the gap a little bit are unsuccessful. The Phillies can put a bigger chokehold on that NL East here with a victory. Thanks again, everybody, for hanging out. Hopefully you're enjoying. If you are, hit the thumbs up video. Hit the thumbs up on the video. Feels nice. Free, easy way to help the channel. I appreciate it. If you're lurking, just hanging out, hell yeah. Hell yeah, that's what content is for, baby. Well, at least that's why I make content. Welcome to Philadelphia, home of the Phillies. Colorado is 39-31. Philadelphia is 42-26. This is a series I've had my eye on a little bit. Philadelphia is in good standing in the NL East. Colorado, it's tight between them and the Diamondbacks in the NL West. However, the Diamondbacks have not taken advantage of the Rockies' stumbles over the last series or so. Excuse me. Speaking of the Rockies, let's get you introduced to their starting lineup in center fielder Shane Victorino, then a bunch of righties. Juan Rivera in left, Torrey Hunter in right, Mark Reynolds at third, Rocco Baldelli is the DH, Jake Fox at first, Bill Hall at second, and then a couple lefties rounded out, and Steven Drew, the shortstop, and John Jaso behind the dish. I'm going to guess it's a lefty pitcher, but I don't know if Colorado or this game cares. I've said that several thousand million times, and I still don't know the answer. Does the game care? Would you care in 2011 about lineup optimization? They might. John Danks, 5-5. 4.24 ERA, 13 games, 34 innings, 33, 19, 32 hits, walks, strikeouts. Nailed it. Friggin' nailed it. The flippity floppity flu. Yeah, the what? Oh, he switched my thing. Alright. So it is a lefty. So it's the switch hitting. Righty lineup for what? Oh, there it is. That's outside for a ball. One and one the count. We are underway here in Philadelphia as that's rolled foul. 1-2. That is foul at the third baseline again. Victorino. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Two and two. Wind in the pitch outside. Ooh, works a walk. Okay, kind of lost. I forget because they go to that camera angle, angled walk, straight on strikeout, and it's sometimes you just forget. So a runner on first, they'll check on him. He is back safe, as they are 99.9% of the time. It literally, every time they try to pickoff move, pickoff moves have worked one time to result in an out. We've had 5 ejections. That's fouled away. And the thing is that like it's not even close. It's just like there's such a hitch in that throw. The runner always has time to get over there. Are they going to try for second for one? They get him over to first, not in time. Safe. He was almost safe at second as well. Again, that slide animation is brutal in this game. It nullifies any momentum you have. That's upstairs for a ball, 1-0. Lefty winds and fires, low for a ball. Two and oh. Lefty Fires to Hunter, who fouls it off. Two and one. That is rolled. Shortstop picks it up. One at second, two at first. They missed the first double play. They are able to execute the second. A little surprising to see in this game, considering how often this game punishes teams who are unable to come up with the double play. It just goes like, no, that you missed your opportunity. You're going to get punished now. Shin-Soo Choo, the lefty right fielder, is leading off, followed by Romero Pena. He is the shortstop. Justin Morneau at first. Johnny Gomes in left. Jorge Posada, the catcher. Andres Torres in center field. Ronnie Belliard at second. Casey Kochman's the DH. And Brandon Inge at third. Inge. Giovanni Gallardo, 8-5 with a 7.01 ERA, 14 games, 34.2 innings, 53 hits, 17 walks, 28 strikeouts on the line. That is a ridiculously high ERA. I think if you're Philadelphia, you like your chances of maybe ending this one early, which feels like he's about to throw 3 perfect scoreless innings and the Rockies are going to win 1-0. Philadelphia Phillies team has been good for pretty much the entire season. Florida's the one team that's a little surprising. That's inside for a ball. They were never really all that far behind. I didn't give Florida as much credit as I probably should have throughout the year. Well, they have fallen off an absolute cliff. At one point, Florida was 30-24, and then they went on a horrendous losing streak. Or maybe a 30-some, I don't know. They had an L6 at one point. It was bad. It's going to likely take them out of the playoff race, which is led by the Atlanta Braves, who just lost. So the Diamondbacks, again, have an opportunity. I don't know if they play today. I don't think they do because I don't remember typing out the word Diamondbacks. Yeah, Marlins. Yeah. So the Braves lost. That's low for a ball. Braves lost. So the Diamondbacks pick up a free half game. Now they just have to win tomorrow. Colorado's left the door open, but Arizona keeps shutting it on themselves. Just like, hey, you have a chance to take the division lead, and then Arizona just goes, no, thank you. And then Colorado opens it up again. Hey, chance for the division lead, and then, no, thanks. It's very weird. The 2-0 pitch is in for a strike to make it 2-1. The wind and the pitch is outside for a ball. Three and one. Hitters love a 3-1 count. It's fouled away. Payoff pitch upcoming. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swung on and missed. Oof. Led that count 3-1 and then could not catch up to that 3-2. Justin Morneau, he's batting .333. 4 home runs, 13 RBI. So a strikeout after the leadoff hit. That's outside for a ball. Wind, pitch in for a strike. Called strike. 1-1. Runner on first, they have not put in motion even once. A little surprising considering it's the leadoff hitter. Theoretically, you'd have someone with some good speed there. The righty is ready. Morneau takes a strike outside. Two and two. And swung on and missed. That's a nice pitch. Excuse me, that was a really nice pitch. I was going to drop into the dirt, but got him to go on it. It was right at the knees and then just kind of fell off the table. Wow. Wow. Johnny Gomes. He's batting not great. This pitcher has done a great job settling down after that leadoff hit. And again, they have not put him in motion at all. That's upstairs. I don't think you want to do it with 2 outs. But who knows? This game can be very weird sometimes with how it does its steal attempts. The wind and the pitch in for a strike on the outside. The righty is ready, and that is hit foul. I thought maybe they would get something going, but pulls it foul at the third baseline. Game number 3 of 4. Royals Athletics coming up after this, and wow, what a bounce back. One hit by the leadoff hitter, Shin-Soo Choo, and shut the next 3 batters down. Reynolds, Baldelli, and Fox. We're getting better with his last name without the first name. Coming up here for the Rockies. I think this is a bit more of an important game for the Rockies considering where they are in the standings in the NL West. How tight that is with the Diamondbacks. Phillies have some room to breathe. That is out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 swing, 1 out. Rocco Baldelli. .455 average, no home runs, an RBI, and a stolen base. Nice take on a pitch outside, 1-0. I thought about it. They call it a strike. Felt like maybe that was a little bit high. We do, I talk about it a lot. We get that animation help in the current shows by the umpire pointing over and being like, yeah, it's on the swing. That is lifted into center field, so Baldelli gets on with a single, a 1-out single. And that is first hit of the day for the Rockies. Yeah, because they worked a walk, avoided a double play, hit into a double play. That checks out. Jake Fox batting .381. Hey, he's working with a 5-game hitting streak. That would be through that whole Pirates series. Unless he just didn't play in it, and I totally forgot about that. Oh, he put a good swing on that one, but drives it foul. Ball finally comes back in frame. Into the crowd. Foul ball. 0-1. Lefty winds, rolls over that one. Baldelli, he is out number 1 at second, but safe at first. So the Rockies have now technically hit into 3 double plays. They've been able to get a runner on first. A walk to lead off the first, a 1-out single, and they just keep hitting into double plays. They just aren't. The Phillies defense isn't able to convert them because the Rockies are getting such weak contact on them. Lefty readies, fires, and that's rolled in front of home plate. My goodness. That is out number 3. Rockies sat down. They strand a runner. No score. 1 hit each. Posada, Torres, and Belliard coming up for the Phillies. Jorge Posada. He's batting .386, 6 home runs, 23 RBI. Here's the wind and the pitch. Strike 1 at the letters. The 0-1 fires, and that is in for a strike. Open 2. Righty sets. That is in for a ball inside. 1 and 2. Swung on and missed. This pitcher, I kind of called it earlier. Like, you look at his record, you look at his ERA, and you're like, man, feels like Philly's going to tee off. They had the leadoff hit. You're like, okay, here we go. It's been 4 straight outs, 3 of them at least strikeouts. I don't even remember how that first out went. And boy, oh boy. He has found a groove here, just misses. I am surprised that was not called a strike, with how funky that bottom of the zone can be. 1-0. Phillies had to figure something out here. Couple good takes. That pitch low, that pitch outside. Two and 0. That's outside. 3-0. I mean, with the way Philly hasn't been able to hit the ball, it's got to be a hands off the controller take situation. Got to let him walk you if possible. I can understand how you'd want to be aggressive. Probably just the angle of the camera, but that did look like a generous strike. Okay, well, you know what? Hey, at least they put a swing on the ball. I guess they got some good contact. It did go literally straight to the defender. Hunter didn't have to move at all. Ronnie Belliard, 264 average, 4 home runs, 14 RBI. There's a hit. There's just something. Granted, it's, I guess, what, the other one's kind of a nice result either way, because it was 3 straight strikeouts at least. A fly ball at least breaks up the rhythm a little bit, and bam, nice hit into left field. Can the Phillies capitalize? Casey Kochman, he's batting .222. Great opportunity for him to double that RBI number from 1 to 2. So on second with 2 out in the bottom of the second. That is low and outside for a ball, 1-0. Here comes the 1-0. That is in for a strike. One and one. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's in for a strike. Can he get something going here? 2 strikes. He's going to have to do it with that 1-2 count. 2 outs. Here's the runner, or the pitch. Oh, he got struck out. Oh, my God. You know what? I kind of called it, / kind of jinxed at the same time the Philadelphia Phillies offense. They have 2 hits. The first, I don't even know. It's baffling. That is drilled. I mean, that was such an interesting opportunity. It's a lefty matchup. And then what? Colorado has a runner in scoring, or Philadelphia has a runner in scoring position. You put like a pretty big run on the board with 2 outs in the penultimate inning. But instead, it's a strikeout. And now we're here in the top of the third. A 1-1 count. Lefty-lefty matchup. That is rolled to the first base side. Can he beat the pitcher there? No. Really counted his steps to make sure he got on the bag. But, hey, you know what? If it does the trick, it does the trick. Nice little flip over there by Morneau. John Jaso. He's batting .386, a home run, 13 RBI. No stolen bases. That is... Huh? What? Huh? We got time, because we are confused about how you called that a strike there, umpire. And now I got to fight this controller, of which I need to buy a new one. I need a PlayStation 1 memory card, a new PlayStation 2 controller. Okay, it's not as bad. That's definitely the angle of the camera. Where's it? Oh, it's hard to get like a dead-on, like straight-on shot. It might cross. Okay, never mind. That's on me. That's on me. A little dramatic reaction for what actually probably was a strike. 0-1 from the lefty to the lefty. Fouled away, 0-2. Top of the third, no score. That's going to be rolled over to the first baseman. Stands up and steps on the bag. Shane Victorino worked a walk in his first at-bat, and then Colorado proceeded to hit into like 8 double plays in a row. They hit into a double play that the defense wasn't able to turn. They hit immediately into the double play that they were able to turn. And Victorino, oof, he's going to want that swing back. Foul ball to make it 0-1, but man, that looked like it was... It looked like it was there for the taking. Well outside. Nice take by Victorino. One and one. Low for a ball. Two and one. Here's the wind and the pitch from the lefty. Rolled to the third baseman. Fired across the diamond for an out. That's 2 gone here in the top of the... There's 3 gone here at the top of the third. I apologize. We're all done with it. No score. 2 hits total. We're heading to the home half where 1 swing for the Phillies can end it. There was a hit in the other... Whatever. 3 total hits. 9-1-2. Shin-Soo Choo? Hero? I forgot about the Phillies hit in the left field. It was erased with a strikeout. And it's like, okay, huh. Cool. What's a 2-out double for? Nothing. Pitch is outside for a ball. 1-0. We are in the bottom of the third. Phillies looking to walk things off here. That was how he ended the Seattle-Tampa Bay game yesterday. That is upstairs for a ball. 2-0. Two and 0. Swung on and missed. Two and one. Wind and the pitch. High and outside. Three and one. Catcher, or the pitcher shakes off the catcher. You don't love seeing that. And he works a walk. Okay, so hey, maybe don't shake off your catcher next time. Maybe what the catcher says is the correct answer. Shin-Soo Choo, he is 1 for 1. He led off the game with a hit and was like, okay, here we go. And then nothing from Philadelphia since. They had the double. Now they worked a walk. That, oh, drives it foul very late on the swing.
That ball is foul.
As it hits into the crowd. 0 and 1. The winning run now in scoring position. It's the only pitching mistake he's made. Catcher's been able to be on top of it because he's been throwing well. That one gets in the dirt and all the way to the backstop. Shin-Soo Choo is going to drive that into left field. How aggressive are they on the base paths? They're sending him around third. He is heading home, and that is your ball game safe. At the plate, Shin-Soo Choo. 2 for 2 on the day. And he wins it for the Philadelphia Phillies 1-0. Your final. That's kind of fun. This is a pitcher's duel more than you might have thought, especially with a pitcher who has a 7+ ERA. But he buckled down and did a really nice job. John Danks, your player of the game. Shin-Soo Choo, your player of the game. Danks pitched 3 innings, gave up 1 hit, no strikeouts. I don't know how Shin-Soo Choo is not the player of the game. 2 for 2. He had 2 singles and drove in the winning run. John Danks improves to 6-5. Giovanni Colorado falls to 8-6. I have record a little better than I realized. It's that ERA that is just eye-popping. But he played well. And that will do it for game number 3. I think we actually have a score to catch up on, which is kind of nice. There were only 7 games to work with, so. Marlins over the Astros, 1-0. Good for the Marlins. See if they can maybe put themselves back in the playoff picture. I kind of doubt it, though. We are scrolling down here. Royals and the Athletics. Royals way out in front in the American League Central. Oakland fighting for a wild card playoff spot and AL West division lead. They're a half game. I think they're a game and a half off of both. Or no, I'm sorry. They're a game and a half off of the American League West lead. They are in possession of the wild card spot, if I remember correctly. AL batting average leaders. Shout out number 17, Ichiro. And Franklin Gutierrez. Hey, a couple of Mariners. Though one of them isn't playing for the Mariners. Franklin Gutierrez. Thank God Ichiro's on the Mariners. So welcome on into our 4th and final game from the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. Royals taking on the Blue... What? Royals taking on the Athletics. 38-30 versus 37-31. Austin Jackson, the center fielder, leading things off for the Kansas City Royals. Placido Polanco at third. Mark Teixeira at first. Jeff Frazier in right. Ryan McCann is the catcher. Alexi Ramirez at shortstop. Josh Willingham in left. Neil Walker at second. Alex Gonzalez is the designated hitter. Here's your starting pitcher for Oakland. It is Scott Baker. 6-5 with a 4.86 ERA. 13 games with 37 innings pitched. 37, 10, and 28 hits, walks, and strikeouts. Not terrible. Boom, boom. Austin Jackson leading off here. Detroit playing for the rival Kansas City Royals. Future 2015 World Series champions. That was kind of a crazy run. Kansas City went to the World Series in 14 and won in 15. That is inside for a ball. We're underway here in game number 4 of 4. I mean, that's kind of what you hope for. Team can make the championship and then get back again and win it. In for a strike. Like, I don't know, Cincinnati Bengals, you made it with Burrow in 21 and haven't seen you since. Buffalo hasn't even had the pleasure of losing another Super Bowl. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. It is hit well out to right field. Right fielder tracking it down. That's Vlad Guerrero, and he will make the catch out by the State Farm sign. Yeah, on the warning track. Placido Polanco is batting a little under 300. That's kind of more than whatever. He's batting slightly above 280. These are all like very semantical terms that don't mean the same thing. They're too soon, you know. Coming soon. Could be 10 minutes, could be 8 years, who knows. That is outside for a ball. One count with one gone. I thought the series would maybe mean something a little bit different. It still means something between the Royals and the Athletics, but I thought it would be more for the wild card spot. I did not anticipate the Royals getting on such a hot streak and the Cleveland falling so cold that the positions would flip. It's wild. 1-2. With one out here in the top of the first, it is a pitch that is high for a ball. 2-1. Here's the wind and the pitch, and it is fouled away. Foul ball. 2-2. That is hit to the shortstop. Scoops it cleanly and fires across to first base. Out. Number 2. Lefty, or the righty, off to a nice start here. Mark Teixeira's batting .348. Seen Teixeira do some damage. Teixeira is one of the more surprising, like, hey, I learned he's a switch hitter, like in this season things. Oh, and 1. Thought about it. Not sure where they called that, but they do call it a strike, and it's 1-2. 0-2, damn it. I was so confident in it that time. I was like, surely this is the count. 0-2 with 2 gone. The wind and the pitch is foul. In foul territory. First baseman comes in, waits, and then drops into the glove. He really jammed Teixeira on that. Got a horrible part of the bat and skied it for out number 3. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for this Kansas City offense. We'll see what Oakland has in the home half. It'll be led off by Jacoby Ellsbury in the center field. Vladimir Guerrero out in right, who's already made a nice catch today. Kevin Youkilis at third. Adam Lind at first. Hideki Matsui in left. Kila Kayahue is the designated hitter. Clint Barnes. Shortstop. Jose Lopez at second. Brian Schneider is the catcher. Let the game get through it. And we will introduce you to the Kansas City Royals starting pitcher. It is righty Jake Arrieta, 7-5 of the 4.06 ERA, 13 games with 37.2 innings pitched, 47-9 and 26 hits, walks, and strikeouts. Arrieta is an interesting guy. He had like a 6-0, 7-0 record. He was so good early in the season, but you can see that he has amassed 5 losses. He's been stuck at 7 wins for a while now. And he has really seemed to hit a slump here. I just swung on and missed, so if Arrieta can find his form and they're able to use him basically like once a series, twice in the championship if it really goes, Kansas City could be in a good spot, but you need him to find that form that was a little closer to that 6-0, 7-1 sort of that form rather than the 4 or 5 losses in his last batch of decisions. Goes for the bunt, misses it, hits into the catcher's glove, and it is a strike. 1-2. Here's the wind and the pitch, and it is hit to the first base side. Teixeira underhands it to the pitcher covering, and that is an out. At least I believe it's Mark Teixeira. Vladimir Guerrero, batting .348, does have 2 home runs. We saw one of them beat the Mariners. A 1-0 game in Seattle as the crowd chanted overrated, and watched him be the reason that they won. Arrieta with the pitch. It is fouled away. Guerrero drove that into the ground and into foul territory. That is outside for a ball. One and one. That is, barely got a piece of it, but drives it into left field. He is going to hit the first base and run for second. He is in with a sliding double. Oh boy, Arrieta is not pitching well. Guerrero didn't need much of the bat on the ball to still drive it into the outfield. Kevin Youkilis with an opportunity to drive a runner in here. Batting .320, a good chunk of RBI. I mean, this is what we saw with the 2 for Detroit, Mauer and the guy behind him. Oof, Youkilis, I am sorry. I jinxed you. There's no way Guerrero goes to third because he didn't even go back to second until the ball was caught. Adam Lind is batting .333. 30 RBI on his line. So you kind of like that. You like that. Hey, we have a guy with a good average, getting on base at a pretty good clip, and then a dude right behind him like, hey, here's a lot of RBI. Because Mauer didn't have a ton, but the dude behind him sure did. Oh, and 1. Here's the wind and the pitch inside for a ball. Here comes the 1-1. That is going to be hit right back up the middle into center field. Guerrero's going to hit third and make the turn. He is safe at the plate. I called that way too early. My bad. Oh my goodness. He was way closer to being out because the rhythm, I thought because there was going to be a cutoff, he was going to be safe easily. But because he went for the feet first slide, both of the slownesses of the cutoff and the slide canceled each other out. And it was a much closer play at the plate. Matsui is up and takes pitch 1 for a ball, swings on pitch number 2. That's into left field. How aggressive are they? Cannot possibly be that aggressive. As he barely hit second as the left fielder touched the ball with his glove. It is 2 on with 1 out and a run in already for the Athletics. Matsui did a nice job to just drive that down. That third base line's been kind of popular today throughout the games. Just kind of shooting the gap between the foul line and the third baseman. So Kaya Hui steps in. He is not batting well. You're going to look at that average and you're going to go like, ugh, kind of gross. I don't like it. I get it. His at-bats have been pretty solid. Feels like every time we see him, he is putting up a 5, 6, 7 pitch at-bat. So while that average doesn't look great, and you would definitely like it to be up there, it's not like he's one pitch swinging. He's fouling some stuff off, sure, but he's at least making contact and not driving into an out immediately. I think that's a positive you can take away from his performance, even with that batting average that isn't great. Oakland 1, Kansas City nothing. Runners on first and second. Feels weird to say that backwards. Second and first. A 2-1 count with 2 gone. Arrieta winds and fires. That's maybe one you'd want to take a swing at, but you had just taken a couple of swings. I don't know. See what it does here. 2-2 with 2 on and 2 outs. The wind and the pitch is hit to the shortstop. He'll go over to first in time. And that will do it. So still looked at 5 pitches. Not terrible. Obviously you'd like to see a little more out of it, but as long as you're not every single time going up first pitch swinging, first pitch out, and bing, bang, boom. You at least have what feels like a positive impact, especially if, there's fewer than 2 outs. Though that probably would have been a double play. Doesn't matter. We're heading to the top of the second. 1-0 Oakland. Arrieta already in line for the loss. That is in for a strike. Kansas City still does own the most fraudulent win we've seen this season. It was an 8-inning monstrosity. I don't know how I made it through. It was awful. The wind and the pitch is fouled away. Very aggressive swing. That pitch was up and out of the zone. It's 0-2. The wind and the pitch outside for a ball. That's inside. Two and two. The wind and the pitch. Oh, gets him on the inside with a strike. That's been the generous spot for a while now. We're going to get a replay that is so unbelievably unhelpful. I'll be honest, kind of wild that they even showed it to us. Brian McCann batting .270 with 5 home runs, 16 RBI and a stolen base. High and outside for a ball. Ooh, put a good swing on that one, but it is, as it comes back into a frame, a foul ball. It's a foul ball. Probably going to want that swing back. 1-1. The wind and the pitch is outside for a ball. 2-0. Here comes the 2-1. That is in for a strike at that low inside corner. A little surprising that they called it, but we were wrong earlier, so we'll give them the benefit of the doubt this time. 2-2. That'll be rolled first base side. He'll take it himself for out number 2. Alexi Ramirez, 304 average, 5 home runs, 16 RBI, 2 stolen bases. See if he can work any magic here with 2 outs. That is low and inside for a ball. 1-0. The wind and the pitch is low for a ball. 2-0. Nice patient start to the at-bat for Alexi Ramirez. Kind of like that swing. 2-1, you kind of count on it being a fastball. Wasn't like it was egregiously out of the zone. It was probably going to be a strike either way. But I do like an aggressive swing on a 2-0. And he goes back to a 2-1 and drives it into left field. Hits the wall. This will be an easy double. Stand-up double, in fact. So missed that first pitch that he swung at, but came back, figured out the timing, and got the next one. Runner in scoring position for the Royals, and Josh Willingham with that 365 average, looking to drive in the run. There are 2 outs here in the home half, or the top of the second. The wind and the pitch is fouled away. 0-1. Foul ball. That's foul. That ball's foul. The righty is ready. Fires, and this is going to be driven to center field. Oh, it's a missed opportunity for the Royals. That is an out, and that will do it for the top half. Kansas City picks up their first hit of the afternoon, but can't do anything with it. Barmes, Lopez, and Schneider coming up for the Oakland Athletics. Clinton Barmes. Arrieta winds and fires. He swings at the first pitch he sees, drives it foul. It's 0-1. Arrieta looking to hold this Oakland team to a goose egg, give his team the best possible opportunity while losing to try and make a comeback. The throw over from third is just in time. It looked like the runner took that little leap there to try and get there before the ball, but it looked like a good out. Arrieta winds and fires, gets that low outside corner for a strike. 0-1. Here comes the 0-1. That is low for a ball. Here comes the 1-1. Low for a ball. 2-1. Wind and the pitch. That's outside for a ball. Yeah. He's going to want that pitch back. That looked like it was in a good hittable location. 3-2. Surprisingly on a 3-1 too. Or 3-1 also. Here's the wind of the pitch. The payoff is hit foul. We'll do it again. I mean, a 3-1 with how aggressive these batters are is shocking that they did not go for it. But that's where we are. Arrieta winds and fires. That is into right field with a hit around first, heading for second. And a stand-up double. Though the relay throw not terrible. Of course, the relay throw is not terrible when it doesn't matter to the runner on second, but whatever. It's a nice hit, slices into the outfield, away from the right fielder. And an easy double for the Athletics to try and help bolster their lead a little bit. A bloop and a blast at the moment for the Royals would swing things in their favor. The Athletics can drive a run in here. A bloop and a blast would merely tie it. Here's the pitch. That is hit out towards center field. They will send the runner back to second, ready for the tag. Left fielder throws it in. The relay is a little delayed, and he will be safe at third. I mean, it's a good job by Oakland, Kansas City. I mean, yeah, sure, the runner's 90 feet away from home, but there's only so many ways you can get him in at this point. That's outside for a ball. One and oh. 2 outs with a runner on third. Oh, and he'll lift that into center field. It is down. That'll be a 2-out RBI single for the Athletics, who will double their lead 2-0 now. Tried to get cute with that curveball, and it just stayed a little too high in the zone. It's a nice swing. Didn't do too much with it. Torrey Hunter. Vladimir Guerrero, 1 for 1 with a single. He came around to score. The pitch from Arrieta is a strike. Okay. A little surprising, but, you know, hey, nothing too egregious. Oh, Guerrero. Maybe a little bit of a forced swing there considering the previous call, but you still don't have to worry about it because it'd just be 0-2. But Arrieta does do a nice job jamming Guerrero and inducing a foul ball for a strike. The 1-2 count. 2 outs. Runner on first and an 2-0 Oakland lead. They put the runner in motion. It is out number 3. The throw is high, but the slide animation is so bad that it cancels it out. Interesting decision to send him with 2 outs. Walker, Gonzalez, and Jackson coming up for Kansas City in the top half of the third. Last chance for the Royals. I guess the worst case scenario, Guerrero leads things off if it gets to a bottom of the third, but we'll see if that happens. So we switch now to the top of the third. 2-0 Oakland over Kansas City. The wind and the pitch is inside for a ball. Nice job by the Athletics. They did what Detroit did earlier. They picked up 1 run in each of the 2 innings. They helped themselves out, especially in that second. That's rolled over. Second baseman picks it up, fires to first in time for the out. It's a strike at the knees. 0-1. The wind and the pitch. Outside for a ball. 1-1, excuse me. We're right there. We're there. We're getting it. Two nothing Athletics. Here's the wind and the pitch inside. Good eye there. Took that first strike, and then hey, a couple of balls. You're ahead in the count. 2-1. Winds, fires. That is hit into left field. Left fielder with a diving attempt to get the ball. Not a smart move. He's going to go for a triple. It's a smart decision. Oh my goodness. How big is the insurance run that the Athletics picked up in the home half? Matsui goes for it in left. He took a bad path to the ball. It's kind of a desperation dive. Ball was either going to get by him or he was going to make the catch. It was either going to be an out or a triple. There was no real in between there. Now, if you're the Athletics pitcher, the run can score. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, now maybe it is. How aggressive is the runner from going around first? He is into second. Okay. Okay. What I was thinking as far as the run scoring from third, it's not that big of a deal if you get it out. If it's a sac fly, if it's a like a grounder and they just go to first, take out number 2, like it's not that big of a deal. Now it's a little tight. 1 gone. Here's the wind and the pitch. Low for a ball. It's that second time through the order. Seems to give these pitchers trouble. That is in for a strike. Nice pitch. Maybe got a little more of the plate than he probably wanted to, but does keep it low enough to at least get the strike. 1-1 with 1 out. Ooh, does not get the call low. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Oh, gets that low inside corner. It looked like it was going to be a ball the whole way. It's one of the nicer pitches we've seen that just kind of broke in. Got the call and makes it 2-2. 1 on, 1 out. Kansas City has cut the lead in half. That is lifted. That is going to tie the game. It's going to hit down and smash into the American flag with a stand-up RBI double. I think the pitcher got just a little too cute there. And still just the 1 out. Mark Teixeira. I feel like that's a guy you don't want to see at the plate. The wind and the pitch. Teixeira with a good eye takes that low for a ball. 1-0. Oh my goodness, that's exactly why. I don't know why the runner didn't start running from second. Guerrero didn't have a shot at it. They're going to hold. Is that the 3rd straight double? Frazier's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. It is now 3-2 Kansas City. Still just 1 gone. Mercifully for the Royals, the fact that he didn't start running immediately from second didn't cost them anything. It just was a weird thing to go like, he's not going to get that ball. Thought about it. Gets the strike call at the bottom of the zone anyway. The wind and the pitch stays way upstairs for a ball. Two and 1. Runner on second. 1 gone. The wind and the pitch is rolled. Third baseman. Oh, he caught it in the air. Okay. honestly, that gets me in the regular game when we're playing. It's the second time we've seen it where they get it in the air and it just feels like a ball that got hit in the ground and had a nice hop to it. Athletics looking to get out of this with just a 1-run deficit, though it's a huge swing. Oops, sorry. It's a huge swing because they were up by 2. I didn't realize that drawer was still open. I opened that drawer 24 hours ago. That is drilled. Out towards center field. He is gonna not even make a leap at it. A 2-run, 2-out blast. The Kansas City Royals. I have long said, most fraudulent win in this season. This is one of the better wins you might see all season long. I would argue Cubs Rockies. But to come in top of the third, last chance, and to swing this in your favor the way that they have is impressive. 5-2 Kansas City. The wind and the pitch. This is driven out towards center field. It is really too bad that we don't get the jump animations at the wall. It wouldn't have mattered. It was way out of his reach, but Guerrero, Youkilis, and Lind, the 2, 3, 4 hitters. Those are the guys you want coming up. That's your little power lane. Athletics down by 3. And that hitched for just long enough where I thought they were going to bring in a new pitcher. And just like that, Jake Arrieta might be looking at the win. Arrieta winds and fires way upstairs to Guerrero, who leads off / remains at the plate because of the stolen base attempt. That felt like the bad omen for Oakland, honestly. Stealing with 2 outs. And I kind of jinxed it a little bit, but like, it's an odd decision just based on the fact that you have Guerrero up. Like, why wouldn't you? Why are you losing the out to a base runner? Leave the bat in his hands. Of course, as soon as I compliment Jake Arrieta, he's thrown 3 straight balls. Jake Arrieta might get the win. What? He's just throwing it all over the place. And it's a 4-pitch walk to Guerrero. Youkilis, Kevin, stepping up. What can he do here with nobody out and a runner on first? He can take a strike. I don't know about that one, but it is what it is. Strike 1. First strike that Arrieta has thrown in this inning. It's pitch number 5. It's a good take by Youkilis. Hopefully you get ball 1. See what he does here to adjust. Youkilis puts a charge into this one. That might be gone. It is way gone. Okay, Jake Arrieta, I would like to formally apologize. You're still up by 1. But all of a sudden, the 3rd inning is where the fireworks have happened. Youkilis, with a 1 swing, makes it a 1-run game. Lind takes a ball inside 1-0. A bloop and a blast now wins it for the Athletics. Here comes the 1-0. Lind wanted all of that one. He wanted it all. And he wanted it now. 1-1. That's outside, gets past the catcher. Okay, time for that to happen. You don't want the 2-1 count. You don't want to be down. I get that. There's nobody on base to advance, so not the worst. Lind to the shortstop. That's out number 1. 1 down. Hideki Matsui. Boy, he made a questionable call out there in left field. It was a bad route to the ball. It must have gotten out a little quicker than he was anticipating as far as like the exit velocity. But he dove and it was... Whew. It was a triple. Can kind of erase that here if he can at least get on base. Home run would be obviously awesome, but no. How about a fly out to left field? Uh-oh. Oakland made it interesting, but we might be might have run out of luck. They had the 4-pitch walk and the mammoth shot from Kevin Youkilis. I don't think this is the guy you want the game in the hands of. I complimented his at-bats during this game earlier. That batting average is just scary, and we haven't really seen him do anything with it. Incoming game-tying home run. One and oh. 2 outs. Oakland needs to work their magic. Well outside. If you're the batter, you got to let him throw a strike. Do not give him a strike. If he gets one, fine. But he walked Guerrero easily. Okay, there you go. Two and one. That's way upstairs for a ball. 3 and 1. Batters love a 3-1, does he? Yes, he does. He loves swinging at it. That's a foul ball. Athletics down to their final strike. Kaihue drives it foul. Hey, 6-pitch at bat. He saw 5 pitches in the last one. Drives that one foul. You look at that batting average and you go, hey, not great. I look at it and go, last out in the game, oof, don't really want this, but he's put up a good at bat. Here's the payoff pitch yet again. That's driven into right field. There you go. 2-out hit. They are going to go to the bullpen. Dennis Baez, 2 games with 3.2 innings pitched. No record saves or ERA. 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Clint Barnes. 1 swing can end it for the Athletics. In a positive way. 1 swing can also end it for the Royals in a positive way. And that's what it is. 1 pitch, 1 swing, and out number 3 to end the game. So a 1-pitch save for Baez. And hey, what's his name? Jake Arrieta is going to get the first win that he's seen in a while. 5-4 Kansas City, one of the better wins we'll see all season from the team with the most fraudulent win of all time. Which I don't think is an exaggeration because this game is just broken. Wow. What a turn in the top of the 3rd. Brian McCann 1 for 2 with a 2-run home run. Yo, I'm late to the party tonight. You're just in time for the end. Jake Arrieta gets the win, 8-5. Scott Baker, he gets the loss to fall to 6-6. Dennis Baez picks up his first save of the season. You can see there that Kansas City scored 5 in the top of the 3rd. McCann's 6th home run of the season. Youkilis is 7th. Wait, what was it? Was it 6-7? It was 6-7. Oh, the meme number. Oh. (5-4) Royals over the Athletics. That was a fun one. That was a good game to end on. Considering the game before wasn't wildly entertaining. But that'll do it. Yeah, that was 4, right? 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4. Okay. Just double checking. All right, let's catch up on the rest of the scores. Cardinals over the Reds 4-3. We watched the Royals defeat the Athletics 5-4. And the Mets over the Giants 4-1. And that will do it for your baseball coverage today. We have just a bunch of shutouts. 2-0, 1-0, 1-0. Okay, no. It's just 3 of the first 4 were. All right. Let's head to save slot 8 and save our game on the memory card that I very nearly destroyed earlier today. I had the wrong game in, and it's like loading all my settings, and it's like it tells you, hey, do not remove memory card, reset PlayStation 2, or turn off power. And I saw that it was like the wrong game, and I like lunged finger first and went, don't do it. It's a bad thing to do. Thank you all so much for hanging out today. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to hit the thumbs up on it. I appreciate it. Thanks everybody for lurking, chatting. All of it is appreciated. The save is complete. I will bid you adieu. You'll have a NCAA March Madness 2005 video tomorrow night, and we'll be back Sunday with a stream in the afternoon/morning and baseball at 6 p.m. Pacific time. I do have Monday off. We'll maybe do a stream on Monday as well. So thank you for watching. Sorry you missed it. Walk off. Good to see you, and we'll catch you on Sunday. Good night, everybody.